edge versus flat. How should we parry? Upon the subject, do we need to be wary? Which one should you use? Which one is the best? The answer depends. So let's do a test. For truth be told, both will make do, and that's just what I'm going to show you. Oh, friends, yes, a techniques video. A lot of the more recent ones have been, cutting things, shorts, and just little clips and stuff like that. But we need to get back to techniques. And as the weather gets cold outside, I want to stay in the studio office a lot more. So let's talk about edge versus flat, because truth be told, both are very useful. And being useful, you should know how to use both of those. So yeah, a lot of times we talk about edge on edge contact, right? And in the past, I've demonstrated that in videos. I mean, it's been almost 3 years being on YouTube making videos. So I have no idea where that is. You may not have even seen it. So let's talk about this. So sword cut comes in and I parry with the edge. Now I'm using the strong of my sword, so I'm not worried about damaging the cutting portion up here on the weak. I'm using the strong, down by my hand. So I edge on edge, or edge slightly rolling onto the flat. I've got control, I'm binding, they're sticking. And even though these are blunt swords, this is a Kvetan arming sword, this is a Lance Connect Emporium lance messer, but I have control. Okay, my strong on the neutral or weak of the opposing blade, edge on edge, I'm going to control. But as soon as I start to wind and I get the flat on there, things start to slide a bit. So I've got to really be fast in my counter. But this is, I want to stop and control, and I'm going to use the edge. And it is excellent, and is what we, that's the basics of what you teach. Everyone start out by learning. Stop the incoming attack. Only defend as much as you need. Defend to your rectangle. Keep an angle on it. Don't have it here. Don't have it here. Close to 90 degrees or so. It all depends on the attack. There's a whole bunch of Meyer stuff about that. Fascinating to read. That's for another video. But yeah, edge on edge. They stick. They bind. They don't slide very well. But sometimes you do need to use the flats. Now, flat on flat moves quite easily. This is something I learned when I did Firefighter Bootcamp Media Day about 12 years ago. Yeah, the whole point is a whole bunch of us got to go and be firefighters for a day. And I remember when we were doing the car rescue, no one was actually in the car, but we got to use all the cool tools and cut it up and break and smash and do all these things on this old car. And as they secure the car, they jack it up and then they put wooden blocks underneath and remove the metal jack if they needed to. Or they just put wooden blocks underneath to secure it and hammer them in. And they explained, why do they use wood? Because metal on metal slides, and as they are ripping and breaking and tearing apart doors and frames and stuff, if the car shifts a little bit, suddenly it drops, and if you've got an injured person in there, guess what? They get more injured. You need to stabilize these people, so you stabilize the car with wood on steel. Now, obviously, if someone is attacking you with a quarterstaff or wooden hafted weapon, just dig the edge right into it, okay? That's best. But sometimes we use the flat for our parry as well. How do we do that? Well, generally, hanging points. Hanging points. Hanging points. The point is hanging down. So, maybe someone's trying Zornhau Ort or just an Oberhau, something's coming in. I drop the point down. I create this springy lever, and if it does hit me, the flat is bouncing off of me and not doing anything. It's not the edge, it's the flat. The sword comes into contact. It's going to turn, and it's going to slide off in the other direction. It's going to be repelled. So instead of binding and then having to immediately launch into my counter, I'm going to displace the sword. It goes over here. And I don't have contact, which means I'm free to move. And if I'm free to move, I'm going to lateral step and attack the opening. Oh. If I had someone else here to help show, I could do that. Okay? Really, all you need to know is both have their uses. Use them when you can. So edge on edge when you want to bind and control the opposing blade. And you use your flat to deflect and send the sword away so that you can then move the opposite direction and attack the opening. So yeah, both are very handy. So sometimes you use the edge. Well, maybe about like 75% of the time, you're probably using the edge and winding and staying in close, but about 25% of the time you can use the flat. And if you're looking for something fun as a maneuver, you can look up Prellhow. Now, there are already great videos out there, so I'm not going to make my own. Hammerborg with Bjorn, there's Daniel Pope. There are other people out there who do Prellhow. You can go see their interpretations of it, or you can just look up Meyer, 1570, and look through his work and just find, some details on it. It is hitting with the flat. And hitting with the flat has a lot more surface area. So when I hit with the edge, that's one thing. When I hit with the flat, it creates a different vibration because I have more surface area contact. So I'm spreading that out. So, yeah, you can also strike with the flat to clear the opposing sword and then come in with your cut. So yeah, a lot of options for you out there. So yes, both of them work. So which is better, edge or flat? How do you parry? What do you want to achieve? Do you want to bind the sword and stop it? Or do you want to deflect it and send it away? Your choice. Know both. Use both. It'll be good that way. Friends, little bits of technique talk for you today. I don't want to go on too much longer because the video will get too long, and I know people mostly just want to watch for the rhyme, get some basics in the beginning, and away they go. So for now, I just want to say we're coming up on 3 years. Yeah, I've been doing this for almost 3 years. Just a couple weeks away since the first video I've ever done. I think I've gotten better at this. I certainly like the production values better, and I'm a lot more comfortable doing YouTube stuff. Yeah, so hopefully a lot more videos to come. And thank you for all the support that I've been getting lately. It's been wonderful. Subscribes, views, not monetized, but that's not the point. The point is to share some cool tidbits of sword fighting with you, the wonderful viewer. Anyway, friends, until next time, please remember to take care, stay safe, and keep on parrying.